months after the horrific fire at Grenfell Tower, survivors and other residents of the area continue to be failed by the local council, the government, support services and national agencies.
You need to listen to us and you need to feel what we are feeling, because there is...
Barely a handful of families made homeless by the fire have so far been offered appropriate and safe accommodation in the borough, while only 30% of the millions of pounds of donations collected by charities has so far been passed on to survivors. No criminal charges have been brought against the Kensington and Chelsea Council or KCTMO for their responsibility for the fire. Despite demands by survivors and other residents for the public inquiry, which began on the 14th of September, to look at the whole issue of how social housing has been deliberately neglected and sold off, its terms of reference remain narrowly focused on the practicalities of what happened at Grenfell. It cannot meet residents' demands for justice. We demand adequate, safe housing at social rents for all survivors of the fire within the Kensington area. The Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea is the richest borough in London, and there are 2,000 empty properties near the tower. We demand accountability for the money that has been collected and transparency over how it is being passed on to survivors. We demand no immigration checks on survivors or anyone else affected by the fire, and a complete and permanent amnesty for all those without current immigration leave. We demand criminal charges against council officers and the executive of the Kensington and Chelsea Tenant Management Organisation for their roles in turning Grenfell Tower into a death trap. And we call for a people's inquiry, led by the community, with a working class jury to fully investigate the causes of the fire within the wider context of the current destruction of social housing. Meanwhile, across London and the country, there are many more disasters waiting to happen. Councils, both Conservative and Labour, have neglected, demolished and sold off publicly owned homes on a mass scale.
The problem is this is a political issue. People are trying to say it's not. It's based in politics. It's based in the fact social cleansing, gentrification, those are the two causes.
Many people have been forced into unsafe, overcrowded, private rented accommodation. Others have been driven far from their places of work, their schools and their local communities by this process of social cleansing. As long as the drive for private profits dominates the housing sector, there will be more tragedies like Grenfell. The struggle for justice for Grenfell is the struggle of all of those fighting for decent, safe and affordable housing for all. Without a resolute, mass militant campaign led by the working class, there will be no justice for Grenfell, nor indeed for anyone else. If you are angry about Grenfell, if you want to fight back against austerity and social cleansing, help support the revolutionary communist group in demanding justice for Grenfell and decent, safe, social housing for all.
Let's build an alternative society that puts humans first, no to profit, and no to the KCTMO, no to the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea. Hold them accountable now.